My friend, I've lived in Bangkok and I've lived in Kuala Lumpur, and both cities are genuinely incredible. But there's a lifestyle difference that almost nobody talks about. And it's not about money, it's not about food, and it's not about visas. It's about what each city does to your daily rhythm and even your nervous system without you even realizing it. Just a quick disclaimer here. This is my own experience of having spent 5 years living in central Bangkok. And now I'm currently in Kuala Lumpur. And honestly, you might feel the opposite to me, but that is kind of like the point of this video. And just so you know, this isn't a comparison video in the usual sense. I'm not ranking cities, I'm explaining something that only becomes obvious after living in both locations. And by the end of the video, I want to share one decision that I made that completely changed how both cities felt to me. Because it's something that most people only realise after a certain number of years. Here is the most honest way I can explain the difference between the two. Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur can both be busy, and they can both feel calming. You can absolutely find busyness in Kuala Lumpur, Jalan Alor, Bukit Bintang, and peak hour times at the shopping malls. And Bangkok genuinely has peaceful places. Venture Kitty Park, Ramanine Park, quiet riverside areas such as Pat Kret, and other quieter neighbourhoods in the city. But I would say that the differences only really show up if you are, always living your life on autopilot, so to speak. Because from my experience, I would say that Bangkok leans more on the side of stimulation and busyness, whereas Kuala Lumpur, on the other hand, leans towards more of a kind of like calming and maybe nature type of lifestyle. And this idea about a default setting is what eventually made me think about how I live my life day to day in these two different locations, not necessarily which one I preferred, so to speak. And by the way, if you are interested in this kind of lived in and ground level perspective of life here in Southeast Asia, then do feel free to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Anyway, onwards we go. Bangkok is one of the easiest places in the world to have a huge day completely by accident. You step outside and the city completely pulls you in. Noise, people, food, traffic, shopping, lights, nightlife. And for some people, that is the absolute dream. Some people genuinely thrive on this constant stimulation and buzz. It energizes them and inspires them on a day-to-day basis. KL feels different. Even in the central neighbourhoods closer to the city, there's this sense of calm and softer energy. More greenery, more space, and more room to breathe. And if you want energy in KL, sure, you can go and get it. But in Bangkok, I would say usually the energy will find you first. So this next part is where people can quietly get it wrong, and also might be the reason why some expats burn out without understanding why. And once you see it, you'll understand why some people love a city for 2 years and then suddenly can't live there anymore. The difference isn't what you can do in each city, but it's what it costs you to recover. When I lived in central Bangkok, calm just didn't happen. I had to design it in my week-to-week living. That meant anchoring my life around walking, training, parks, and making the effort to take intentional breaks from the noise. Because if I didn't, the city slowly kept my brain switched on. Now, some people, they love that. But for me, I realised that I need recovery built into my life for a place to work long term. With Kuala Lumpur, that recovery is already built around you. I would say even in those central neighbourhoods, it's easier to find greenery, quieter streets and space. So I would say the difference isn't really Bangkok busy and KL calm. Bangkok is incredible, but you must design your own calm. Kuala Lumpur is incredible and calm often works by default. I loved living in central Bangkok for 5 years. It was awesome. The energy, the variety and the amenities, it truly is world class. I think to myself sometimes, would I move back there again? I think I definitely would at some point when the timing's right, but I would design it a little bit differently. For me personally, what I would do is I would look for a nice neighborhood, maybe 45 to 60 minutes drive or BTS or MRT out of the city centre, but pick a location that is well connected, has some decent amenities around, and is not too far away from a BTS or MRT station that goes into Bangkok city centre. So then, in my opinion, I believe that Bangkok becomes a powerful combination. I could spend my daily life in a nice quiet neighbourhood, well connected to the city, and then I can tap in and access the conveniences and the amenities and the variety that this world-class city offers, but I can do that when I want to. And I know long-term expats who actually live their life like that, and they're very happy. Whereas in KL, you can live in central neighbourhoods, and being centrally located, you can have calm and peace on a day-to-day basis. Whereas in Kuala Lumpur, I can live in central neighbourhoods and have access to more space and calm on a regular basis. And then at the same time, if I want to access perhaps somewhere a bit busier with a bit more vibrancy, you can think Jalan Alor, Bukit Bintang, maybe KLCC, then those places are well connected via the LRT or MRT. And then you can get that stimulation from those central places in Kuala Lumpur when you want to. It's there and easy to tap into. So the lifestyle difference isn't about the cities being one thing, so to speak. It's about what each city rewards, depending on how you design your life. Now, I want to move on to the next part of the video with the question that I ask myself before moving to any new city, because it completely changed how I make decisions about where and how I live. So, if you want stimulation, variety, nightlife, and a city that never sleeps, Bangkok might genuinely be one of the best cities in the world for you. But you have to be honest. That type of energy, is it something that you can handle daily, or will you need to design recovery into your routine? If you want a calmer day-to-day living with more nature and more greenery and a life that feels more sustainable long-term in the city centre, then Kuala Lumpur might be a good match for you. And I want to be clear, I absolutely love both cities. This is by no means a Bangkok versus Kuala Lumpur video. I've lived both lifestyles, and this is my honest take of what both lifestyles feel like. And that decision I made earlier, it wasn't about money or visas or the city itself. It was choosing what I wanted my days to actually feel like. Do I want my lifestyle to default more to stimulation or recovery? Once I actually asked that question to myself honestly, the decision, it became so much clearer for me. Now then, I'd love to hear from you. And if you've spent time living in either city, what did you feel day to day living there? And if you're deciding between them, what type of lifestyle are you actually trying to build? Drop a comment. I try to read them all and respond to as many of them as I can. And before I go, I just want to share something exciting that I've just launched. I've put together my first ever free PDF guide, and it's called the Mr. Henna's KL Expat Starter Pack. It's for anybody who is considering moving to Kuala Lumpur, and maybe also for people who are already here and want to maybe see another take of what it's like to have the boots on the ground here, so to speak, as an expat here in Kuala Lumpur. You can find it in the link in the description below, and it's completely free. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Mr. Hennas, and I'll see you in the next one.